You have to feel your pain before you can step into your ultimate dream life. Hey, welcome back. My name is Joanna Fatonji. I am a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute, the premier institute for transformational coaching. And I'm working with a system, with a proven, repeatable, reliable system of transformation that has helped thousands of people all over the world create the life of their dreams. And today I'm going to share with you the foundational principle of actually creating the life of your dream. And as I said in the beginning, it starts with acknowledging the pain. You have to acknowledge the core wound, the pain, the discomfort that you feel in order for you to create the antidote of that pain. Because we live in a world of polarity, right? So, in order to create what we truly desire, we have to know what the pain is that we want to soothe with the dream. So, I want to go down deep into the human psyche, the human nature, maybe even down to the soul, right? Because I believe that we incarnate here as souls into the human body. And the first distortion that happens is that we don't necessarily get our needs met. And I claim that the ultimate need that every essence, every soul, every human has is to be seen, to be heard, to be validated, to be protected, to feel safe. And if we didn't get that from our parents, from our mother, our father, this is what we end up going looking for in this world through all means necessary. Okay, so we have to go down deep to the core wound. And as I said, we have to be very honest with ourselves. And in order to be honest, we have to know, we have to identify like what could be the pain that was inflicted upon us. Not to blame, it's not about blame, it's not about shame, it's just to realize what is it that is still bleeding inside of me? Why don't I feel fulfilled, right? And there are like three basic wounds that we have. What we need is, as I said, to be seen, to be heard, to be validated, to be protected. And what has happened most likely is a level of betrayal. We were abandoned or neglected, right? Betrayal, abandonment, or neglect. So you can dive deep into your childhood and acknowledge what needs weren't met, right? So you can find out what it was. And then you have to feel. You have to allow yourself to feel. And don't skip this. If you're really looking to live a fulfilled life in this human existence, you have to acknowledge exactly that. You have to feel the pain, right? Where is the pain in the body? And this pain, or we can call it trauma is like um, a constriction, right? A trauma, a shock. A trauma is a constriction. That means somewhere in the system, in the energy body, and then also ultimately in the physical body, there's something like a tightness. There's a tightness. And this tightness prevents energy to flow through your body, right? Also, emotions, right? Emotions are energy in motion. And a healthy system, a healthy, abundant, free flowing human experience comes from an open channel. Yeah. From being an open channel for all of the energy that comes towards us. We want to let it flow through, give it back. That's ultimately health, right? Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, letting whatever comes towards us, to not resist it, but to accept it, to surrender to it, and to then give it back. So, trauma or some kind of pain is always a constriction in the body. And this tightness somewhere in your body is what is preventing you from holding more, accepting more, receiving more, because you are afraid that you can't open this unconscious constriction, right? The pain, the betrayal, the hurt, the pain, the neglect, not feeling safe enough to actually let it flow. Okay, so this is my invitation here for you. This space, my space here on the internet, is a safe space for transformation and ultimately to rise into an abundant state. So again, allow yourself to admit to yourself, where are you feeling the pain? Sometimes it's a constriction in the root, especially for us women. We are constricted in the first chakra, in the safety chakra, the essence, the fundamental, the actually feeling safe in this body, right? For some of us, it's a constriction in the sacral, like the creativity, the playfulness. For some of us, it's a constriction, the solar plexus, which is about, I am here, I want to be seen, confidence, right? I shine, I radiate. I am here, I want to be seen, I want to be heard. Duh, right? Or it's a constriction in the heart where we don't allow ourselves to open our heart. Or also for women or men, for all of us, there's a constriction in our throat. And this is why we don't allow ourselves to speak the truth, right? We need to open the throat chakra, right? For some of us, it's a constriction in the crown, right? In the third eye, in the crown, because we don't allow ourselves to connect to God, because we're so afraid. We have been in so much pain, we don't even believe that there is something higher. So the whole channel needs to open up. And for you, I want you to again acknowledge, what is your personal constriction point? Where is the pain in your body? Mhm. What is causing you pain? And we don't have to look far. You don't even have to look into the past. You don't necessarily have to do that, because our life, just the way it is right now, will show us exactly where we are constricted. Meaning, in the domain of our health, we feel constriction, constipation, even. Yes. So whatever it is in your health and your flow, there you can see there's a constriction. Do you feel a vitality? Do you feel a flow of vibrant health in your body? If not, there's a constriction there somewhere. The same thing with relationships. Do you feel safe to be you in the relationships that you have, whether it is personal, romantic, friendship, or even in business? Yeah. Same thing about your creative expression. It's a flow, right? It's a flow of energy. Creative expression, your maybe speaking, right? Singing, dancing, art, productivity, design. Every career is a creative outlet, right? So look into this field. How satisfied are you? Are you flowing? Is it flowing? And the same thing with money. How much do you allow yourself to receive money, but also let it go, right? Again, it's about circulation, it's about flow, right? So, the root, again, and today's topic, and we're going to go deeper into it, is the pain. You have to acknowledge the pain. I will have to do it, right? Like I have to do it. One of the prophets, right? Jesus, okay? He said, he came that we might have life and we might have life abundantly. That's exactly what he was talking about, to release the pain so we can become one with natural law. And natural law is free flow of abundance, of resources, of energy, of vitality, of love, right? Of creativity, and of supply of money. So that is where we're heading. But if you don't acknowledge the pain, and as I said, I have been a life coach for over 10 years now, working with a proven system that creates results. And I've had the privilege of helping over hundreds of people work in one-on-one and in group settings to actually work on that. And the first thing that happens when I invite people to claim a personal session with me, and I invite you to do the same, is to do exactly that, to acknowledge the pain. And I've seen so many people cry, break down, and just really, yeah, get a lump in their throat or, yeah, cry. When I ask them that question, just the field, right? My energy, my safety, my field is about helping people to actually acknowledge that. And this is what I'm asking you to do as well. You have to acknowledge your pain, right? This is where it all begins. And something like the pain of not being heard, right? Many people don't feel heard. One second. Okay. So many people don't feel heard. Many people don't feel seen, right? Many people don't feel validated. Yeah. Or you feel betrayed or you feel abandoned, right? You feel like nobody is really listening to your needs. But the outside world is always only a reflection of our inside world. And that means if you're not feeling heard, you are probably not hearing your own needs. If you're not being seen, you probably are not seeing your own needs. If you're not being validated, you're probably not validating your own needs. And if you're feeling betrayed, you are betraying yourself. And if you're feeling abandoned, you are abandoning yourself. Okay? That is just what it is. So, we want to dive into the pain. And my videos are not gonna be only for entertainment reasons. You will have to sit down, get your notebook, and write something down. Yeah. So the first step is the pain. And I'm gonna tell you, as soon as you truly admit down to wound, the core wound, if you admit it to yourself, if you're honest that yes, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to be loved, I want to be here, I want somebody to validate my existence. Once you claim that, it's like a birth. It's a new birth. It's this is already this is where I help people to dive into their new, that is a threshold. That's a new reality that we're birthing yourself into, right? Once you allow to yourself that that's who you want to be. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to breathe, right? I want to exist. And I have needs. And then I have wants, right? But we need to start at the foundation. That's like if you want to call me, right? Call me for help, you know I'm the one for the foundation. Okay? The rest is going to come from there. But helping you to admit, I am here. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. This will mark the transition of you unconsciously walking through this world looking for these things because you need these things. You need them. You need to be seen. You need to be heard. You need to be validated. Okay? But not unconsciously, not siphoning other people's energy, right? because it's unconscious. No, now it's conscious. You make it conscious. You make it clear. You unearth it. And now you're no longer trading whatever you traded before, because let's be real, and I'm talking to especially my ladies. I'm also speaking to my gentlemen, but I'm especially talking to my ladies because I am a woman, so I know the female experience. But the same goes for men as well. Sometimes we trade our sexuality for being seen, being heard, being validated, because we think somebody sleeping with us is giving us this. It's not true. And we know it because it still leaves us feeling empty, right? Sometimes we think like performing and auditioning for somebody will make us feel seen, heard, validated. Cheap attention, right? Cheap attention to just give us a little sip of, to quench our thirst, to quench our soul thirst. But it's never enough. So the thing is, and I believe that this is what Jesus said too. I will like connect you to the well, and when you drink from this well, you will never thirst again. Mm? Probably you've heard that before. So this is exactly, I'm leading you to the well, okay, to the source. Good. All right. So if you acknowledge your pain and what you truly desire, and admit that these are the things that you truly need and desire, this is where everything shifts, right? So the shift then comes, and that is, again, as I said, we live in a world of duality. The darkness transforms into light once it came into consciousness, right? So you now know, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to be validated, I want to receive love. Yes. So you accept it, right? And then you design, and that's it. You design the how do you call it in photography, like from the dark you create the light thing, right? But you will create a custom made life from your custom made hurt and pain. Okay, so then you admit it. I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to have all these things, I want to be valued for who I am, right? And now you ask yourself, how can those needs be met? And I'm giving you gems, right? Like I'm no longer holding back the secrets of the ascended ones, right? You give yourself those things. You validate yourself. You see yourself, you hear yourself, and you meet your own needs. That is the secret of transformation. Duality, right? Contrast. Once you see the darkness, you see the light. Once you looked into the pits of hell, you can create heaven, right? Once you actually looked to the chaos, you will create order. Once you actually admit that you have a problem, you will seek and find the solution. Okay, so that's it for today. That is the first principle out of my 10-step system. Elegant, proven, repeatable, reliable system that creates results over and over again.